Women of Reddit, what myth about women is 100% untrue and infuriates you when you hear it? It doesn't infuriate me, but I was always confused by the stereotype that women are afraid of blood in general. Like, what do you think we deal with everything month? Edit. Whoa, a lot of really interesting responses. Yeah, I definitely get being wary or affected by unnatural amounts of blood, or even by just blood in general as a woman. It's not abnormal or wrong. It definitely happens. Definitely a thing. I feel like the stereotype of women fainting at the sight of blood has died down a lot since its origin though. Anybody who says it was because of corsets hasn't done their research enough to know that the average Joe didn't tight lace on a regular basis or even at all, and that corsets were worn to provide a structure and silhouette often more than to cinch the waist, basically a wider bra. So obviously some idiots in the past tight-laced, then fainted, and then started a viral stereotype. But corsets made and fitting correctly actually are fine for breathing. I'm a reenactor, if you couldn't tell here. So that's where I think the stereotype comes from. Maybe just as women were seen as more restricted, the reality is the same and different all at once, and that's a whole different subject. That everything we do is to attract men. From wearing revealing clothing, to wearing makeup at work, to gaming, hell, apparently even the not like other girls types who abstain from and denounce things associated with attracting men are accused of doing it to attract men. After a while it just feels like a bunch of projection, whether from women who are insecure about their ability to date, or men who interpret anything they're attracted to as being tailor-made for them. Also, while I do think that we have a sort of privilege over men in terms of being able to cry and show our emotions, I also feel our emotions aren't taken as seriously. As another commenter noted, we're basically never allowed to be upset about anything, and are always labeled crazy / hysterical / irrational / dramatic. I've seen a lot of confusion among men involving the concept of venting, i.e., why would you tell me your problem if you don't want a solution? The reason why is because we don't need a solution. Oftentimes we already know what it is. What we need is to be listened to be comforted, and told that it's understandable why we feel the way we do, when the rest of the world just tells us to calm down or to smile more. Stuff about our periods in general. Like, if we're mad, it's definitely because we're on our period. We never have a legitimate reason to be upset. Also, myths like we are able to hold in our period, or we only have it for a day, or that we are impure. The impure one definitely infuriates me. I just think about the billions of women throughout history, and sometimes even today, being treated as if they are impure or an evil omen because of a bodily function they cannot control. Banishing them to menstrual huts when they have their periods, or not allowing them to touch anything. And yes, this happens. My mother as a teenager was not allowed to touch anything when she had her period. It got to the point where she would just not tell anyone she was menstruating and do what she wanted. My favorite stereotypes of women I hear is the idea of how we interact with each other when we are in groups. 90% of my conversations with half of my friends revolve around the latest video games and horror movies coming out. Occasionally we'll talk about emotions, relationships, or clothes and makeup, but we would both be bored if that was all we talked about. I also know of about one person who greets me with "hey girl." I refer to both gender friends as dude. Not that any of that is bad, I just find it hilarious when people assume women get all squealy and affectionate or close and gossipy when they spend time together. Our friendships are just as unique and varied. Doesn't so much make me mad when people assume I'll act that way with my friends as it makes me laugh and pity their ignorance. That some careers / hobbies are male. I'm a female STEM graduate. If I have to hear one more time that is a male career, I will hit someone. That women can't be friends with other women and the relationship will eventually die out due to petty drama or one stealing the other's boyfriend. That is that women hate their friends. Mean Girls, Heathers, Julie and Julia. Women being flawless / perfect. No. Women can be stupid, disgusting, mean, cruel, flawed because we are multi-dimensional / human. That a mother will fall in love with their child when they see them. That mothers will do anything for their children. Pregnancy/breastfeeding is wonderful and natural and will be very easy to do. This especially adds pressure to new moms dealing with a 180 life change, not recognizing themselves or their bodies in postpartum depression. Every woman is the same, that we all like the same things, that every period is the same, every childbirth is the same, that if one woman says periods hurt and one says it doesn't, one of us has to be lying, that if one woman's childbirth is easy, the rest must be faking it or weak. That women are, or should be, naturally thin. For almost everyone, being thin takes a lot of effort. Yet the men who say, "I want a girl who knows how to eat," are often the same men who say, "Sorry, no fat chicks. If you want a size 2 girlfriend, cool. But it doesn't make sense for you to then get frustrated with her for ordering a side salad as an entree instead of a 900 calorie double bacon cheeseburger with a 500 calorie side of cheese fries. And if you want a girlfriend who will chow down with you by finishing off a 900 calorie double bacon cheeseburger with a 500 calorie side of cheese fries on her own, cool. But it doesn't make sense for you to then get frustrated that she doesn't stay a size 2. Every time I throw up or say I feel nauseated, literally since I was like 16, the first thing someone jumps to is, "Are you pregnant?" Like we can get sick without it being because we are knocked up. Edit. Changed nauseous to the proper nauseated. Edit again. Personally, if a doctor or nurse asks me, I simply answer and move on. That's part of their job. But if I mention to my mom or a coworker or a random stranger hears me telling my husband that I feel sick, it doesn't mean I'm pregnant. Nearly everything about endometriosis. It is sorely misunderstood. WIASAC is underfunded, and terrible treatments get used all the fucking time when they don't help and make things worse. It's a hidden debilitating disease, and I hate the misinformation spread about it. There is help out there and legit treatments. ETA, thank you kind strangers for the awards. For those suffering and needing additional resources, the Facebook group Nancy's Nook Endometriosis Education is an amazing resource. That we are bad drivers. I have had my first car for 3 years. I'm in my early 20s. I have never crashed, but have had 2 men crash into me from behind. Both times I had to fight tooth and nail to the officers to believe me. Both times the blame was given to me, even when the crashes were from behind and backside, merge lane and red light. The cops' reason? Well, unfortunately ma'am, I have to put the blame on you, since you are a fairly new driver. Drive safer next time. You should always keep distance while in the merge lane, even if he was behind you.